Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and you're watching a special broadcast here on DD India as part of our continuing coverage of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Mauritius. He'll be the chief guest at the National Day celebrations of the island nation. We'll take you live to Port Louis for that in just a bit. But first, let's get started. So as you know by now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Mauritius. He and his Mauritian counterpart Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam have jointly addressed the media. The two leaders witnessed the exchange of some key agreements. The memoranda of understanding include local currency settlement system, credit facilities agreement, training program for diplomats, technical agreement on the sharing of white shipping information, MOU between Financial Crimes Commission of Mauritius and the ED of India, cooperation in the field of micro, small and medium enterprises, training of public officers, MOU on ocean information as well. Earlier, Prime Ministers Modi and Ramgoolam held delegation-level talks. The Prime Minister began day 2 of his visit on Wednesday by meeting key leaders of Mauritius. Now, Prime Minister Modi met former Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth. They held discussions on enhancing India-Mauritius cooperation. The Prime Minister also met the leader of opposition. They had fruitful deliberations on further strengthening the India-Mauritius friendship. And Prime Minister Modi is all set to participate as the chief guest at Mauritius's 57th National Day celebrations. He has extended his greetings of the day to the people of Mauritius. He said on X, looking forward to today's programs, including taking part in the celebrations. The Prime Minister also shared a video. Take a look.
आज हमके मॉरिशस के धरती पर आप लोगन के बीच आके बहुत खुशी होत बात है। समय के साथ भारत और मॉरिशस के रिश्तों की ये मिठास और भी बढ़ती जा रही है। मैं जब भी मॉरिशस आता हूँ तो ऐसा लगता है कि अपनों के बीच ही तो आया हूँ। Mauritius is not just a partner country. For us, Mauritius is family. This bond is deep and strong, rooted in history, heritage, and the human spirit. India always stands with Mauritius. When Mauritius prospers, India is the first to celebrate. आज मॉरिशस एक पेड़ माँ के नाम से भी जुड़ा है। आज मैंने और प्रधानमंत्री नवीन रामगुलाम जी ने एक पेड़ माँ के नाम अभियान के तहत पेड़ भी लगाया है।
At the joint press conference, Prime Minister Modi extended India's support to Mauritius.
प्रधानमंत्री नवीन चंद्र रामगुलाम और मैंने भारत मॉरिशस साझेदारी को एनहेंस स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का निर्णय लिया है। हमने निर्णय लिया कि मॉरिशस में पार्लियामेंट की नई बिल्डिंग बनाने में भारत सहयोग करेगा। यह मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी की ओर से मॉरिशस को भेंट होगी। मॉरिशस में 100 किलोमीटर लंबी पानी की पाइपलाइन के आधुनिकीकरण के लिए काम किया जाएगा। कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट के दूसरे चरण में 500 मिलियन मॉरिशियन रुपए के नए प्रोजेक्ट्स शुरू किए जाएंगे। अगले 5 वर्षों में भारत में मॉरिशस के 500 सिविल सर्वेंट्स को ट्रेनिंग दी जाएगी। हमारे बीच लोकल करेंसी में आपसी व्यापार का सेटलमेंट करने पर भी सहमति बनी है।
And joining us on the phone line from Port Louis is my colleague Akshay Dongre. Akshay, talk to us a bit, if you will, about the optics and outcomes of the talks that were held in Port Louis.
Well, first of all, coming to the optics and the kind of bonhomie that has been seen between the two countries was in fact visible as soon as Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Mauritius with the Prime Minister himself coming to greet the Prime Minister of India along with several other top dignitaries of the country. And the optics continued as far as the receptions are concerned, be it when Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached the place where they are supposed to stay, where Geet Gawai and other traditional welcomes were performed by the people of Mauritius. Soon after that, we have seen how Prime Minister was warmly received by even the President of the country. Then we saw the kind of engagement that he had with the top leadership of the country, including who hosted him at his residence as well. And when we talk about the outcomes of this particular visit, clearly we have seen the kind of warmth that was given by the Indian diaspora at the community event yesterday, where thousands of people gathered from all across Mauritius to get a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this warmth was in fact reciprocated by the Prime Minister of India when he called the people of Mauritius his family, and the country a place where it always feels like home whenever he comes. We have also seen today when Prime Minister Narendra Modi had visited the top leadership, including the former Prime Minister, the leader of opposition, and now Prime Minister will be attending the National Day Parade of Mauritius, where even the Indian contingent will be marching alongside their Mauritian counterparts. And there will also be aerobatic exercise displayed by the Indian Air Force, and a naval ship of the Indian Navy will also be participating in the particular celebrations of the National Day of Mauritius. The day is quite significant for both the countries. In fact, this is the day when Mahatma Gandhi started his Salt March, and this is the same day when Mauritius gained independence as well. So while the diplomatic relations were established in 1948, and the consistency has been shown by almost all the governments in India as far as prioritizing relations with Mauritius is concerned, but the kind of impetus that was given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership is unprecedented. In fact, in the last 10 years, we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the country twice. The last year, it was Honorable President who was the chief guest of the celebrations of Mauritius National Day. So clearly there is a consistency, but the memorandums of understanding that have been signed today between the two countries is all but expected to take the relationship between the two countries to a next level. Also, we have seen Prime Minister announcing even the 7th generation of Mauritians will be given extended the OCI cards, which means that even the people-to-people connect is being prioritized by both the leaderships of the country.
Right, we leave it there. Akshay, thank you. Akshay Dongre reporting there from Port Louis, the capital of Mauritius. Right, let me give you viewers a historical perspective of the significance of this day, 12th of March. The selection of 12th March of Mauritius' National Day celebration symbolizes the shared history between Mauritius and India, as it marks the day Mahatma Gandhi launched the Dandi Satyagraha against the British colonial rule. On his way to India from South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi briefly stopped over in Mauritius between 29th of October and 15th of November in 1901. Mahatma Gandhi steered the destiny of Indian laborers with his three transformative messages: the importance of education, political empowerment, and staying connected with India. In his homage, the National Day of Mauritius is celebrated on March the 12th, which is the date of Gandhiji's Dandi Salt March. The day serves as a reminder of both India and Mauritius' shared struggle for freedom and highlights the strong ties between the two nations, rooted in their common fight against colonial oppression.
12 मार्च को नेशनल डे के रूप में चुनना अपने आप में हम दोनों देशों के साझा इतिहास का प्रतिबिंब है। ये वही दिन है जब महात्मा गांधी ने गुलामी के विरुद्ध दांडी सत्याग्रह शुरू किया था। ये दिन दोनों देशों के स्वतंत्रता संघर्षों को याद करने का दिन है। कोई भी बैरिस्टर मणिलाल डॉक्टर जैसे महान व्यक्तित्व को नहीं भूल सकता, जिन्होंने मॉरिशस आकर लोगों के अधिकारों की लड़ाई शुरू की। और हमारे चाचा राम गुलाम जी ने नेताजी सुभाष और अन्य लोगों के साथ मिलकर गुलामी के खिलाफ अभूतपूर्व संघर्ष किया।
Now an Indian warship, the INS Imphal, has arrived at Port Louis, marking her maiden visit to participate in the 57th Mauritius National Day celebrations. The visit aligns with the long-standing tradition of Indian Navy warships and aircraft contributing to such significant events. The INS Imphal will participate in the National Day parade with a marching contingent, naval band and a flypast by integral helicopter as part of these celebrations. The ship will field a marching contingent, a naval band and helicopters for the flypast. The Indian Air Force's Akash Ganga skydiving team will also participate in the ceremony. Right, time to bring in our guests. Joining us on this special broadcast with me is Ambassador Pinak Ranjan Chakraborty and Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor. Gentlemen, welcome to this special broadcast. If I can start with you, Ambassador Chakraborty, would you like to give our viewers an overview of India-Mauritius ties in terms of the optics and outcomes from the just concluded talks?
Well, as you said, the optics obviously is very good, and there's a long history why it is so. India and Mauritius, people of 70% of the people of Mauritius are of Indian origin. They went as, many of them went as, most of them I think, as indentured laborers during the British period to work in the plantations. They settled down, they took Indian culture, they took everything from here, their cuisine, the food. And then there is, of course, the other, non-Indian kind of people of African and French origin. and then even the language is a kind of a mixture of various, French and African and other words. So anyway, the point is that they have been looking towards India as the mother country in many ways, and that is why there is this, very emotional and sentimental bond.
Right. Apologies, Ambassador. If I can just take a moment to remind our viewers of the latest visuals coming from Port Louis of Prime Minister Modi arriving at the venue of the National Day celebrations of Mauritius. Right, so these are the visuals of the Indian Prime Minister along with the Mauritian President, and we'll take you live to the National Day celebrations in just a bit. But let's stay on the visuals for now of the leaders, Prime Minister Modi along with the Prime Minister and President of Mauritius. Right, while we're on these visuals, Ambassador, do finish making a point.
So this history has, basically generated very strong bonds. And on the strategic side, Mauritius is located in the Indian Ocean, close to towards Madagascar, and is therefore occupies a very strategic location in the Indian Ocean and the trade routes. And as most people know that the Diego Garcia, the American base, is part of the Chagos Islands, which is claimed by Mauritius. So there are some of these issues that are that binds India and Mauritius into a very strong embrace. We've been, of course, helping Mauritius in various fields, particularly defense also, and training, and provided defense hardware whenever they want, and they use all that training. So I think it's for India. It's a very, very useful sort of place for watching what is happening in the Indo-Pacific maritime area. And the fact remains that even in the financial side, there are strong relationships with Mauritius, and so that many of these, and then the cultural ties with the students coming to India. I remember studying in Delhi University, and in the hostel there were many Mauritians who became friends, and I caught up with them later when I visited Mauritius, and the warmth that they exhibited was quite exemplary. So these are some of my thoughts.
Indeed, Air Marshal Kapoor, if I can come to you now, while we are watching these visuals live from the venue of the Mauritius's National Day celebrations. Right, we'll stay for a bit. We'll watch these visuals for the moment now before we go to our guests.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the national flag, our country's foremost national symbol, is proudly floating at the top of the mast. Red, blue, yellow, green. The color red representing the struggle for freedom and independence. Blue represents the Indian Ocean, in the middle of which Mauritius is situated. Yellow, the new light independence. And green, the agriculture of Mauritius and its color throughout the 12th month of the year. It is a solemn moment of great pride reaffirming the Mauritius identity. Corporal Richardson and Woman Police Sergeant Rajana were the flag raisers and bearers respectively for our National Day.
Le quadricolore rouge, bleu, jaune et vert qui flotte fièrement dans le ciel cornusien. Le public qui est réuni au Champ de Mars pour vivre ce moment solennel et exceptionnel.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for a thrilling, awe-inspiring aerial display by the air warriors of the Mauritius Police Force in collaboration with the Indian and French air arms. Look to your right, the skies welcome the Mauritian Chetak helicopter from the police helicopter squadron, gracefully approaches the towers and proudly trooping the Mauritian flag. Now direct your attention to the sky and you will witness a spectacular three-helicopter formation by the Mauritius Police Force Chetak helicopters flying in big formation called the sign Eagle. Leading the formation, Wing Commander Chima alongside ASP Dukon. To the left, the helicopter is commanded by SP Bobichan and WDASP Hamji, and to the right, piloted by SP Bolaki and DASP Chedi. And to further symbolize the unbreakable bond of friendship, the Indian Navy's MH-60R seamlessly complements this formation. And just behind the Chetak, entering the display zone, is the MH-60R Seahawk, the latest addition to the Indian Navy's Air Squadron 334, proudly trooping the Indian tricolor. This cutting-edge maritime aircraft symbolizes India's unwavering support and strong strategic partnership with Mauritius.
Le fly past ici dans le ciel port-lusien, mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités du beau spectacle, comme le veut la tradition. Et auparavant, le Parade Commander, lieutenant-colonel Gopi, a procédé au retrait de la garde d'honneur.
And distinguished guests, the skies will now showcase a proud display by one Dornier aircraft, the Sentinel of the National Coast Guard under the Mauritius Police Force. And this aircraft conducts surveillance, search and rescue and protect the nation's exclusive economic zone.
Oui, des appareils que nous avons l'occasion, lors des célébrations, de voir de beaucoup plus près. On parle bien sûr ici de sécurité. Ce sont des appareils qui sont très utiles en matière de sécurité.
And now you can see to your right the Dornier aircraft entering the zone. It is commanded by Commander Ajit Paris Bogart and his crew, Commandant Gautam Narendra, Lieutenant Commander Aman Sharma, and Inspector Lizek. And the spirit of international unity continues now, approaching from the horizon the Casa Transport aircraft from the French Air Arm, flying over the Champ de Mars. This display symbolizes deep-rooted friendship between France and Mauritius. And now, as we honor the bravery and commitment of the police helicopter squadron, known for their unwavering motto, braving skies, saving lives, now presents a magnificent aerial salute to our distinguished guests. Helicopters execute this synchronized tribute, a moment of sheer pride and honor.
Le spectacle ici avec ce flypast, les hélicoptères que vous venez d'apercevoir également.
And after this spectacular display of helicopter and flypast, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next on the National Day celebrations program, there will be march past by Mauritius disciplined forces.
Mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, à présent, le march past.
order of the march past, the melodies of the SMF Bagpipers Band. We are also honored to have the detachement from the French 2e Régiment de parachutistes d'infanterie de marine des forces armées de la zone de l'océan Indien. We are also honored to have participation of Seychelles People's Defense Forces. The Special Support Unit, another paramilitary unit of the police force. The Special Response Group of the Special Support Unit. And now the Women Police Unit of the Mauritius Police Force. And marching with pride, the Indian contingent from the Indian naval ship Imphal, commanded by Captain K.K. Chaudhary, docked at the Pottery for National Day. It symbolizes our strong ties. The Indian Naval Band elevates to this moment with patriotic melodies. Officers of the National Coast Guard, a paramilitary unit of the Mauritius Police Force, dedicated to ensuring maritime safety and securing our exclusive economic zone. The NCG Marcus, elite marine commandos trained to combat piracy at sea and safeguard the waters of Mauritius. Officers of the police helicopter squadron, experts in aerial surveillance, search and rescue, and supporting ground operations. Adding a unique rhythm to this march past, the prison band and the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service band. The Mauritius Prison Service is among the main component of the criminal justice system. Male and female prison squads play a crucial role in ensuring security, rehabilitation, and reintegration within our society. And the skilled officers of the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service play a key role in responding to fires and disasters. Officers of the Mauritius Revenue Authority, responsible for tax collection and enforcing of revenue laws in the country. The Fisheries Protection Service asked to enforce regulations and protect marine biodiversity while supporting the growth of the fishing industry. And bringing energy and flair to this event through their baton twirling show. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Major and Majorette of the Queen Elizabeth College. You will have the privilege to see the Major and Majorette performing later on during the ceremony.
Les majors et majorettes du Queen Elizabeth College, que vous aurez d'ailleurs l'occasion de revoir un peu plus tard, mesdames et messieurs.
And concluding the march past, teams of dedicated volunteers, the National Youth Council, Fellowship First Aiders, St. John Ambulance, Mauritius Red Cross, Professional First Aiders, the Mauritius Scouts Association, Pathfinders Youth Club, Girl Scout, Association of First Aiders, Mauritius Recreational Council, and we are also honored to have high-level athletes and para-athletes who have made our flag shine high at international sporting events.
Oui, les athlètes et para-athlètes, Fabrice Bolloc, Julie, Noémie Alphonse, Nouvelle Philippe, notamment Anaïs Angeline, qui ont brillé au plus haut niveau. Les para-athlètes qui se préparent pour les mondiaux justement en septembre et octobre, les mondiaux de parathlétisme qui vont se tenir en Inde, à New Delhi. après le march past qui laisse dans quelques instants au défilé des véhicules, principalement des différentes unités de la force policière.
Now we proceed with the défilé of vehicles from the various branches, units and organizations of the Mauritius Police Force, the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service, amongst others, starting with the traffic branch. The motorcycles and vehicles of the traffic branch are key assets that support the branch in enforcing traffic regulations and promoting road safety. In addition, the branch is responsible for issuing and regulating driving licenses throughout Mauritius and Mauritius.
Le Traffic Branch, mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, unité qui abat un gros travail au quotidien sur les routes afin d'assurer la sécurité routière et de guider les automobilistes.
Next in view, a défilé of the armored vehicles highlighting the strength and preparedness of the Special Mobile Force, a key paramilitary unit within the Mauritius Police Force. Structured as a motorized infantry battalion, the SMF includes 5 companies, 2 squadrons, an engineer squadron and a disaster response unit. Equipped with armored vehicle, the SMF plays a crucial role in safeguarding both internal and external security.
Et également ce véhicule va nous traverser du groupe d'intervention de la police mauricienne. Et on parle aussi du maintien de l'ordre avec le Special Mobile Force jouant un rôle crucial.
And taking part in this défilé of vehicles and officers of the Special Support Unit, displaying some of the specialized equipment used in their operations. The SSU plays a crucial role in assisting the regular police during civil unrest, providing security for sensitive locations. And our défilé of officers and marine commanders, vehicles and boats of the National Coast Guard with an exclusive economic zone of 1.8 million square kilometers. The NCG is tasked with protecting Mauritius' maritime wealth and assisting seafarers. It plays a vital role in enforcing laws, safeguarding maritime zones and combating illegal activities. Officers of the scene of crime play a crucial role in investigating and documenting crime scenes. The Emergency Response Service tasked to respond rapidly to emergencies. The Police du Tourisme, ensuring tourist safety in Mauritius. The Police de l'Environnement. And with a committed team of approximately 200 officers, 14 fisheries posts operating round the clock. The Fisheries Protection Service plays a crucial role in safeguarding and preserving the marine ecosystem. In concluding the défilé, the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service showcasing their state-of-the-art equipment. But prior to that, we have officers of the Mauritius Revenue Authority. The Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service showcasing their state-of-the-art equipment. This includes the aerial ladder, 32-meter high vehicle, the hazmat vehicle, and the swift-water rescue vehicle, and the firefighting water tender, all vital in responding to emergencies.
Les véhicules de Mauritius Fire and Rescue Services, les pompiers qui viennent de nous traverser, mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités sous une pluie fine, ici au Champ de Mars.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have the police band, along with the prison and Mauritius and Fire Rescue Service bands and the SMF bagpipers perform at today's National Day celebrations. These officers who have received specialized training in India bring their refined skills to the stage, adding a unique cultural touch to the country. Their performance is testament to the strong ties and cooperation between Mauritius and India, further enhancing the spirit of unity on this special occasion. Under the music played by the policemen, the prison and the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service bands, we now proudly present a baton twirling show by 43 Majorette and A Major of the Queen Elizabeth College. Practiced since 1972, baton twirling promotes discipline, perseverance and leadership. Trained by Mrs. Jennifer Ning, a former majorette of the institution, the performers showcase their talent and dedication in this captivating display.
Mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, c'était les majors et majorettes du Queen Elizabeth College. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm informed that unfortunately, because of prevailing bad weather conditions, the skydiving by Akash Ganga skydiving team, Indian Air Force, won't be on the program today. Mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, on vous informe qu'à cause du mauvais temps, le skydiving by Akash Ganga skydiving team, Indian Air Force, n'aura malheureusement pas lieu. Merci.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to witness the conferment of insignia, a momentous occasion marking the first time this highest distinction is being awarded as part of the National Day celebrations. The insignia is the highest distinction awarded by the Republic of Mauritius, recognizes exceptional contribution and service to the nation. This prestigious honor will be conferred upon our esteemed chief guest, His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, as a mark of appreciation for his unwavering commitment to strengthening the bonds of friendship and cooperation between our nations. To do this honor, I now invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic, to kindly come forward for this historic occasion. With great honor, I invite our chief guest, His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, to come forward and receive this prestigious insignia in recognition of his outstanding contribution to our enduring partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Mauritius, to present, on the advice of Dr. the Honorable Navin Chandra Ramgulam, GCSK, FRCP Prime Minister, the award of Grand Commander of the Order of the Star and of the Indian Ocean, to His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic.
Grand Commander of the Order of the Star and Key of the Indian Ocean.
I now kindly invite His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi to address the gathering.
President of Mauritius, His Excellency Ramdev Gopalji, Prime Minister, His Excellency Navin Chandra Ramgulam ji, sisters and brothers of Mauritius, I express my heartfelt gratitude for being confirmed the highest national award of Mauritius. This is not just my honor, it is the honor of 1.4 billion Indians. It is a tribute to the centuries-old cultural and historical bonds of kinship between India and Mauritius. It is an acknowledgement of our shared commitment to regional peace, progress, security, and sustainable development. And it is a symbol of the shared hopes and aspirations of the global South. I accept this award with full humility and gratitude. I dedicate it to your ancestors who came from India to Mauritius centuries ago, and to all their generations. Through their hard work, they wrote a golden chapter in the development of Mauritius and contributed to its vibrant diversity. I also embrace this honor as a responsibility. I reaffirm our commitment that we will continue to make every effort to enhance India-Mauritius strategic partnership to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor of calling upon Dr. the Honorable Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everyone present, I extend my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Mauritius, His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, and Dr. the Honorable Prime Minister. This concludes the insignia ceremony. I kindly request the dignitaries to return to their seats as we continue our National Day celebration. In a short while, we will turn to a cultural program that reflects the rich diversity and unity of our nation. Due to bad weather, this cultural program might delay a little bit. India and Mauritius is a vibrant cultural mosaic built from the many traditions and heritage that form our society. This cultural tapestry is held together by the cement of understanding, mutual respect and tolerance. As we reflect on the theme of this year's National Day celebrations, as one people, as one nation, Proudly celebrating 57 years of independence and 33 years as a republic, we are reminded of the strength in our unity and the pride we take in our collective achievements. Happy National Day celebrations to all citizens of Mauritius here and around the world.
Mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, concernant le spectacle culturel, avec le mauvais temps ici au Champ de Mars, ça va être probablement légèrement décalé. Spectacle qui est une célébration du peuple mauricien, de sa capacité à s'exprimer, à se rencontrer, à se réinventer. C'est à travers cette expression portée par la diversité, le dialogue entre cultures, que s'est construite notre nation. Comment nos racines dialoguent-elles avec notre présent? Comment l'héritage de nos ancêtres continue-t-il d'inspirer notre identité mauricienne d'aujourd'hui et de demain? Dans une scénographie immersive, où les reliefs, les images et les éléments de notre patrimoine, les arts deviennent le langage de cette traversée. Danse, musique, chant, photographie, vidéo, peinture et art numérique s'entrelacent pour raconter une histoire en perpétuelle évolution où le passé, le présent et l'avenir se rejoignent dans un même élan. Les décors, inspirés de nos paysages, de nos îles et de l'océan qui nous entoure, incarnent les espaces dans lesquels nous vivons et rêvons. Les marches de la Seine, symbole de progression, d'effort et d'élévation, accueillent les artistes et musiciens, créant une fresque vivante.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this very site, Champ de Mars, for me, is very historic. 57 years ago, this very place, the Union Jack was lowered and the Mauritius flag was raised for the very first time, marking the birth of our independent nation. We owe this historic achievement to the collective efforts and countless individuals whose courage, vision and unwavering commitment to freedom paved the way for a new era under the leadership of Sir Siltikaragor Hambulan, the father of the nation. Independence was not just a political milestone, but the foundation upon which our nation was built, a journey of perseverance, development and national unity.
Mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, les artistes qui vont devoir attendre que ça se calme légèrement. Nous vous remercions de votre patience. Et merci d'être avec nous, en tout cas ici au Champ de Mars, pour ces célébrations. Il y a eu depuis 1968 des défis socio-économiques relevés par des générations de citoyens de la République et les efforts continuent dans un contexte difficile. Le 12 mars qui est aussi l'occasion d'avoir une pensée à tous les citoyens pour leur contribution afin de faire avancer la République. On a eu droit, en tout cas, à des moments historiques ici au Champ de Mars en ce 12 mars 2025. Le quadricolore qui flotte très haut dans le ciel cornusien. On aura vécu de très grands moments autour du drapeau national, voire des moments historiques, que ce soit sur le plan local qu'international. Le quadricolore qui a flotté pour la première fois ici même au Champ de Mars en 1968 en présence du père de la nation, Sassiou Sagar Angoula. Ceux et celles qui ont vécu ce moment sont témoins de la lutte pour l'indépendance et les émotions du 12 mars 1968 en voyant pour la première fois le quadricolore flottant très haut. Le rouge, bleu, jaune et vert qui ne passe pas inaperçu à travers le monde. Mention également pour nos sportifs qui ont toujours donné le meilleur d'eux-mêmes à chaque occasion qui se présente pour faire briller le quadricolore. Et d'ailleurs, certains d'entre eux étaient présents aujourd'hui pour le March Past. Il y a également eu l'hymne national. Et puis, pour rappel, aujourd'hui, le caporal Richardson et la Women Police Sergeant Rajana ont eu l'honneur de hisser le quadricolore en haut du bas. Sous la pluie, ici donc au Champ de Mars, pour les célébrations du 57e anniversaire de l'accession de Maurice à l'indépendance et du 33e de la République. Et vous l'aurez aperçu, il y a aussi une bonne foule présente aujourd'hui pour venir célébrer, et nous remercions également les membres du public qui ont fait le déplacement.
Since 1968, the national anthem and the national flag has become an important part of our history. The lyrics of the national anthem of the country were written by well-known Mauritian poet Jean-Georges Prosper, and the music was composed by Philippe Gentil, a former inspector of police of the policeman. So today, 12th March, is once again an opportunity to express our patriotism, our sense of belonging to the Mauritian nation, to a country built on great values like peace, solidarity, national unity. Independence has brought along a wave of development and economic progress in the island. And despite the rain, the public present here are still at the Champ de Mars, showing their patriotism.
En tout cas, mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, tout ce que vous avez vu, vous avez assisté, vous avez vécu ici au Champ de Mars aujourd'hui, il y a des jours et des jours de répétition pour tout mettre en place. On salue au passage ces hommes et ces femmes, ces jeunes, les sportifs qui ont fait le déplacement pendant les derniers jours pour venir aux répétitions et pour faire de cet événement un succès. On va parler de l'hymne national, écrit par Jean-Georges Prosper et composé par Philippe Gentil en 1968. C'était bien sûr pour la célébration de l'indépendance. Aujourd'hui, comme invité d'honneur dans ces célébrations, bien sûr, le Premier ministre de la République de l'Inde, Son Excellence Shri Narendra Modi.
As our chief guest prepares to depart the Champ de Mars, we extend our deepest gratitude for his participation in today's celebrations. His presence has greatly enriched this occasion, symbolizing the strong ties of friendship and cooperation between Mauritius and India. We thank him for honoring us with his time and leadership.
Right, so we're watching the live proceedings from Mauritius's National Day celebrations in its capital, Port Louis, where Prime Minister Modi of India was the chief guest on the occasion. And the big news this hour, the Prime Minister has been officially conferred Mauritius's highest civilian honor, the highest national award of Mauritius. Prime Minister Modi received the award at the celebrations of Mauritius's National Day. The Prime Minister was the chief guest of the celebrations. He thanked the 40 crore people of India and the centuries-old friendship between the two nations in his acceptance speech.
I express my heartfelt gratitude for being confirmed the highest national award of Mauritius. This is not just my honor, it is the honor of 1.4 billion Indians. It is a tribute to the centuries-old cultural and historical bonds of kinship between India and Mauritius.
So Prime Minister Modi saying that he's accepting the award on behalf of the 1.4 billion people of India. Earlier, addressing a press meeting with his Mauritian counterpart, Prime Minister Modi highlighted India's vision for the Global South, calling it Mahasagar, that is mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions.
ग्लोबल साउथ के लिए हमारा विजन रहेगा सागर से आगे बढ़कर के महासागर, यानी म्यूचुअल एंड होलिस्टिक एडवांसमेंट फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड ग्रोथ अक्रॉस रीजन्स. इसमें ट्रेड फॉर डेवलपमेंट, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग फॉर सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ और म्यूचुअल सिक्योरिटी फॉर शेयर्ड फ्यूचर की भावना समाहित है. इसके तहत टेक्नोलॉजी शेयरिंग, कंसेशनल लोन और ग्रांट के माध्यम से सहयोग किया जाएगा.
The Mauritian Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, welcoming India's Prime Minister Modi, highlighted the unique and special relations which binds the two countries.
Prime Minister of the Republic of India has honored us by his presence amidst us on the occasion of the National Day celebrations of the 57th anniversary of our independence. His distinguished presence on this momentous occasion is testimony to the unique and very special relations which bind our two countries. The resounding success of the community event held last evening at the Triano Convention Center, which gathered both Mauritian citizens and members of the Indian diaspora, was a clear illustration of the vibrancy of shared cultural heritage.
Next, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the Ganga Talab, also known as Grand Bassin. It's revered as Mauritius's most significant Hindu pilgrimage site, symbolizing the Ganga River of India. The water of Ganga Talab were infused with the holy water from the Ganga in 1972.
Ganga Talab, also known as the Grand Basin, is Mauritius's most significant Hindu pilgrimage site, symbolizing the Ganga River of India. Water from the holy Ganga River were infused in the Ganga Talab in 1972. The lake periphery is dotted by temples of three prominent Hindu deities, Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesh, and Lord Hanuman. Many regard the Shiva temple as the 13th Jyotirling. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also had a pleasant gift for many families who could not visit Prayagraj for the Mahakumbh.
मैं जानता हूं कि मॉरिशस के अनेक परिवार अभी-अभी महाकुंभ में भी होकर आए हैं, लेकिन मुझे ये भी पता है कि मॉरिशस के मेरे अनेक परिवारजन चाहते हुए भी एकता के इस महाकुंभ में नहीं आ पाए। मुझे आपकी भावनाओं का ध्यान है, इसलिए मैं आपके लिए पवित्र संगम का और महाकुंभ के उसी समय का पवित्र जल साथ लेकर आया हूं। इस पवित्र जल को कल यहां गंगा तालाब को अर्पित किया जाएगा।
A notable feature of the Mauritius Iswarna Jyotirling is the 33-meter-high statue of Shiva, the tallest statue in Mauritius. Festival of Mahashivratri is synonymous with devout taking water from the Ganges to be offered to Lord Shiva near their homes. Mauritius Hindus also celebrate the festival with equal fervor and enthusiasm. Up to 400,000 pilgrims carry the holy water from the Ganga Talab and offer it to the Shivlings in their homes or local temples. Bureau Report, DD India.
And DD India's Akshay Dongre spoke with the trustee and caretaker of the sacred lake in Mauritius on the significance of the Ganga Talab.
We are currently at Ganga Talab in Mauritius, one of the most revered spiritual and religious sites. And to talk about how this place is significant, we also have Mr. Satish Dayal with us. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. There is a lot of interest as far as the Ganga Talab is concerned. Many people also consider the temple here as the 13th Jyotirlinga as well in India too. So as the Prime Minister is arriving here in Mauritius, there is a lot of interest as far as India is concerned and in the world as well that these kind of places exist in Mauritius. So can you tell us about the significance of this Ganga Talab?
The Ganga Talab is a very important place, a spiritually revered place as you mentioned it. It is a Tirthistan, a place of pilgrimage too. And recently it has been declared as a heritage, a spiritual heritage too. For the Hindu, it is a great symbol.
Right.
It is a great symbol because Ganga Talab is a sacred lake. In spite of being a sacred lake, it's a volcanic lake too. And it is a natural lake.
Right.
For Hindu, it is a great symbolism, this lake itself. The two things at Ganga Talab is very important. One is the lake itself. Secondly, the world 13th Jyotirlinga is here. There are 12 Jyotirlinga in India. It is the only one which is outside India. And it is considered as the main temple of the country. And very often we used to experience miraculous happenings. And the temple is very, very famous all throughout the world.
You heard all the significance of this Ganga Talab, and like Mr. Dayal has explained to us in so many words that how special and pious this lake is, and how Mauritius is perhaps the only country outside India that has a Jyotirlinga as well. With camera person Ajit Kumar, Amakshi Dongre, DD India.
Right, time to bring in our guests once more on this special broadcast. With us is Ambassador Pinak Ranjan Chakraborty and Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor. Gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Let me start by asking you, Marshal Kapoor, we saw the Indian marching contingent take part in the military parade on the occasion of Mauritius National Day celebrations in Port Louis. We saw the Indian helicopters also do the fly past. Talk to us a bit, if you will, about the defense and security cooperation between India and Mauritius, and where does the IAF in particular, find its place in it?
See, Mauritius from time immemorial for last many decades has been sending their personnel for training to India. The cadets join our training establishments, both at the officer level and as well as the level of the soldiers or airmen or sailors. The training continues beyond the basic training at the Defence Services Staff College, that is around the major level. Then it goes to the higher command level, that is around the colonel level. And later we find a lot of Mauritian officers coming and training with us at the NDC, that is at the brigadier level. So at every level, starting from the junior level till you reach the level of supervisory status or the strategic decision making, they have been training with us. Now, as far as the contribution of the Indian Armed Forces to strengthen the Mauritian Armed Forces goes, it is for many decades now that our people are positioned there at Port Louis and associated islands to train their personnel. The Indian Navy, per se, being the maritime force, has stationed a large number of their personnel on active duty, manning the vessels and the ship and the crafts of the Mauritian Armed Forces. The Indian Air Force has presented the Dornier aircrafts. The Indian Navy has given the Dornier aircrafts. The Indian Coast Guard has, like the ambassador just mentioned, given a couple of high-speed vessels for their patrolling. The exchange programs which we carry out between the two services. And today's event, with the Honorable Prime Minister being there, having our INS Imphal reaching there on time, the contingent from the same ship, INS Imphal, with the band performing, and the helicopters on board this ship doing the fly past, marks the presence of Indian armed forces there. And also the Akash Ganga fly past, which we just witnessed with the heavy rains going on, couldn't be carried out, but is one of the finest free fall and skydiving display across the world. The location and the acceptability of Indian armed forces in this region is something which we should all be proud of.
Absolutely. Ambassador Chakraborty, Prime Minister Modi, when he visited Mauritius 10 years ago in 2015, coined the term Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. Today, he has gone a step ahead and coined a new term, Mahasagar, standing for mature and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions. And he also spoke about how India-Mauritius ties do not have any limits. No limits is what he said last night at the banquet speech. Does that bode well? I mean, does that take the relations to a whole new level going forward?
This is all tied up with basically the India's strategic interests in the maritime area, particularly the Indian Ocean and the Indo-Pacific. And Mauritius obviously is a strategic partner. In fact, this time they have raised the level to advanced strategic partner, which means that, as you said, there will be no limits to cooperation in almost every field. The defense partnership is, of course, very, very strong and will continue. I don't see that being set aside. And I think it is important for India and Mauritius to join hands to ensure security and all the things that are represented by Sagar and Mahasagar in this common area that we share, the maritime zone. So this is a very, very important relationship, and not just for the old historical and ethnic ties that we have with Mauritius, but also because in the current era, the kind of events that are taking place in terms of changes in the geopolitical kind of order, I think it brings this relationship right up front in terms of our priorities. So this is what I feel that India has been pursuing, and the reason why Prime Minister has gone there. Of course, he was invited for the National Day celebrations. I remember going there with President Abdul Kalam for the National Day celebrations many years ago, and so I was very happy to see that that Prime Minister was the chief guest this time. As you know, we also have a system of inviting chief guests for our Republic Day. So this is something similar, and clearly conveys a signal to everyone, to the rest of the world, that this relationship has become deeper and will continue to grow, deeper over time.
Indeed. Air Marshal Kapoor, convention has it that the Mauritius's National Security Advisor has, over the years, been a veteran Indian Armed Forces officer. But that apart, we've seen both countries are members of many regional and global groupings, including but not limited to the Indian Ocean Rim Association, the Colombo Security Conclave, and now with Prime Minister Modi talking about enhancing or taking it to the enhanced strategic partnership level and assuring Mauritius of full security cooperation or security of its EEZ. Is there scope for doing more in terms of maritime security between India and Mauritius?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The archipelago, which is in contention by the other countries, the British have the stake on one of the archipelagos in the north, which they have extended. The American presence at Diego Garcia, which they are extending. And by the way, I was reading somewhere, the Americans are spending over $300 million to bring up their embassy in Port Louis. So this indicates the interest of these countries. The Chinese presence in the area, because strategically the area falls in the sea lines of communication where the complete global trade moves. And the western portion of the Indian Ocean, close to Madagascar, is of extreme strategic importance for the world. And being in our neighborhood, it can really impact our presence in our own ocean. So towards this, there is a huge scope. We can put in, through our indigenous capabilities, a lot of coastal radars, which our country has agreed to. The Ajera military base, which the India has extended to support the Mauritian armed forces, is setting up as a joint services training establishment, and also monitoring of the whole sea lines and the exclusive economic zone. The other factors which have come into is the Indian armed forces, and especially the Air Force lately, has been training their personnel on the aircraft maintenance. They have been training them for the ground duties and radar manning. Also, a large number of Mauritian personnel come for various courses on flight safety, bird avoidance, and all these things. But this being the primary job till now, with the strategic partnership, I feel that the Mauritian government would invite the Indian Armed Forces to set up the training establishments right at their place, wherein we take and train a lot of people. The neighboring country of Bhutan, which has a full setup of the Indian Army, training the people, I expect a similar kind of an agreement being signed in the next few months, wherein the Indian presence to train the personnel of the armed forces right there and then, or at the place, would be in place. And also the ships and the maritime equipment which they have would be upgraded. So towards this, our shipyards, the boats and the infrastructure creation would be another factor which they would be looking at. The huge spread over thousands of kilometers between the islands would want them to develop their airfields so as to monitor and check on piracy and other things, for which they would be requesting the Indian Air Force, and also for commercial activities, the Airport Authority of India to develop their flagship airfields and greenfield airfields, from which they could launch operations in case of a requirement, and otherwise could be used for tourism and trade. These are a few factors which come to my mind after listening to the Honorable Prime Minister developing the strategic military cooperation with Mauritius.
Right. Ambassador Chakraborty, talking about the discussions that Prime Minister Modi held with his Mauritian counterpart, a couple of points stand out. One, India promising to help build Mauritius's new parliament building. Two, to redevelop or put in place a water pipeline on the island. But strikingly, Prime Minister Ram Ghulam said at the banquet speech last night, he officially, publicly thanked India for taking a position, for taking a stand, helping Mauritius regain sovereignty over the Chagos Islands, including Diego Garcia. He thanked Prime Minister Modi for taking the lead as early as November 2022 in talking to both sides, the British and the Mauritians, including the Americans for that matter. That speaks glowingly about India's stand over the years historically against anti-colonialism, isn't it?
Yes, of course. And India has always maintained that position and not flinched from it, despite our excellent strategic ties with other countries like the US. And this is going to be India's position. We made it very clear that you cannot, retain the legacy of colonialism forever. Someday it has to be. So I think there is a way forward. I think what can be done is an agreement between the US and the Mauritius, rather than depending on the UK as a intermediary, because it had once ruled this place. So I think Mauritius is entitled to get back sovereignty over this island, but for strategic and other reasons, pragmatic reasons, they can do a deal with the US in terms of leasing out the island, because US. So I foresee a US, a Mauritius-India-US partnership here, because we are strategic partners with both countries. So I think this is probably a good thing that is happening, and the emphasis on sovereignty of the Mauritius is non-negotiable for India, and we have taken that stand, and it's a principled stand, and it's going to stay.
Gentlemen, we're approaching the end of this special broadcast. We have just about 5 minutes left on this broadcast. One last question to the both of you, starting with you, Air Marshal Kapoor. In terms of the optics and outcomes of Prime Minister Modi's engagements in Port Louis, did they tick all the right boxes for you? Anything that stood out in particular for you?
It stood out because the importance given at this stage to go and visit this country highlights how much India is looking at Indian Ocean region now, with the influence of the Indo-Pacific importance of China, its presence in this region, and also the exclusive economic zone monitoring. India has rightly ticked all the boxes, in my opinion, and has gone a step forward in getting into strategic partnership with this important country in this region. And that is my take.
You get the last word, Ambassador Chakravarti, in terms of the outcomes. Prime Minister Modi being bestowed with Mauritius's highest civilian award. India also reaching out the Indian diaspora in Mauritius. The PM giving the OCI cards to his Mauritian counterpart and his spouse. Your thoughts on the big takeaways from Prime Minister Modi's two-day visit to Mauritius and the way forward for both countries?
Very important outcomes for us, for both countries actually. And it's all a part of India's strategic thinking and future vision, where the maritime zone has become much more dominant in recent years. And hence the role of the Indian Navy has become so crucial. And the Indian Ocean has become, the domain for all these activities, strategic outreach, etc. Because let us not forget that 60% of world trade passes through this key lines of communications, and that's a very important trade route to be protected, and for everybody, not just for India, but for everybody. And we have also seen the growing footprint of China in this region as China sort of strives to become a global power, and obviously tries to get facilities in this region for its navy and its shipping, etc. We've seen the Gwadar, we have Hambantota, and they were trying, I don't know, they are still probably trying to get something in the Maldives. So these are some of the current sort of developments that are taking place. And India naturally has to keep all these developments in mind in planning its future maritime strategy.
Ambassador Chakravarti, Air Marshal Kapoor, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
And it's a wrap on this special broadcast. But news continues here on DD India. You can get all the latest updates on our social media, mobile and digital platforms. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.